Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. All of the subscribers that I have, all of the ones that are choosing to subscribe to the channel and that is enjoying the content. And even though I have quite a few that have been subscribing, I still have more people that are unsubscribed that look at the channel. So please make sure you hit the subscription button. As I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Definitely hit the like button. The like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm, right? And share the content, helps more people to see it, helps the video to circulate when you share it on your social medias. Um, and if you would like to support the channel, you can definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay. Um, this morning I wanted to talk about Blac Youngsta. Okay. In the wake of what we see going on as far as the commotion and the things of that nature that have been going on with like Blac Youngster and with Little Migos mainly, because Blac Youngsta we have not really seen, right? He's been extremely quiet. Little Migos has been out there. And of course, we saw the situation that happened with Little Migos and Grove Hero. There was an altercation, nobody lost their lives. And we see the situation that has happened with Jizzle and Little Migos. And, why the energy is so different at this point, I don't know. There have always been rumors of Little Migos uh, perhaps having an involvement and a hand in Young Dolph's assassination. I don't know. But I got up this morning and I was in meditation. And when I sat up in the middle of my bed and I started to meditate, God put into my spirit, be not deceived. I thought about Blac Youngsta, and God put into my spirit, be not deceived, for God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, he shall also reap. Okay. And I'm sure Blac Youngsta would know a lot about that scripture because Blac Youngsta is not um, a stranger to um, the Bible, you know. Um, and I thought about that and I thought about everything that is going on. And someone had been posting in my comments, we know that Little Scar was killed. And Little Scar or Big Scar was only 22 years old. And so there have been rumors that, and I don't know if Big Scar has had his funeral yet. I don't, well, he couldn't have his funeral, but his family, I don't know if he's, his funeral, they've had his funeral. But there are rumors that because the young men, like Jizzle and all of them, are close to Little Scar, that that there's supposed to be some retaliatory situations, and allegedly it is supposed to come from Blac Youngsters um order. Okay. And I started thinking about that. Blac Youngster came from an area in South Memphis that was very poor. I keep saying that because I grew up in South Memphis. Okay. And I grew up around Blac Youngsters' great aunts. I never knew Blac Youngsters, so I knew that they were praying women, and they were his aunts on his mother's side. Okay. And his great aunts on his mother's side. But I never knew him. So I know that those were some praying warriors. I know the mishaps that happened with his family before he was ever even born, as far as, you know, being growing up in a bad area in South Memphis, unfortunately losing their lives and things of that nature. But Blac Youngsta has been able to defy what has happened in their family and go on to be a millionaire, right? Because we were all growing up in South Memphis at that time. It was very poor. And by the time Blac Youngsta came along, it was a lot worse. And so with Blac Youngsta going on and signing with CMG, and now he's supposedly a millionaire, we know he more than likely has more money than he has ever had. with him growing up in those conditions, we can't understand for the life of us why he has chosen, even though he came from bad conditions, to continuously send destruction and shame back to the Black community, especially the hood that he came out of, that still got a lot of people over there that's impoverished, right? To send shame back to a city that supported him, and rumors of him being involved in the assassination of young Dolph. Okay. And so when that situation happened with Grove Hero, you know, there was rumors of, somebody was supposed to be shot up and things of that nature. Even though there were children out there, there was rumors that a hit had been sent to get Grove by any means necessary. Although you had innocent kids out there, that was excited to get gifts, that the area impoverished, that Grove was giving out gifts, and some of those kids, those were the only gifts that they had gotten, were going to get, but very happy. And even still, allegedly, there were plans to continuously destroy, and allegedly it came from him, even in his quietness. That's allegedly. I mean, that's just a rumor. Okay. So now with this situation happening with Little Migos yet again, okay, Jizzle and them didn't shoot him, didn't kill him, none of that. Okay, they got his chain some kind of way. I don't know how. Okay. But there are rumors that allegedly they're planning to shoot up young Scar's funeral just to retaliate and continuously destroy innocent people, right? And so it leads me to, Blac Youngsta knows that he is up under the microscope. Blac Youngsta knows that. That's why God in them keeping him off of the internet. They know what it is. Just like Quet and all of them knew what it was. He knows what it was. What involvement he had in Young Dolph's murder, I don't know. That's for the police. Okay. But if he had an involvement, he has to know that his number will be up really soon. Okay. He has to know that. And so with him knowing that his number would be up really soon, I think it's so unfortunate what these young men do. Blac Youngsta is not living in the hood. Blac Youngsta, unfortunately, a lot of these little dudes that's on his label is still living in the hoods. They got family members that's still living in the hoods. And so Blac Youngsta himself would not be the person to go and send a hit. Blac Youngsta would unfortunately ruin the lives of these other young men that's just jockeying for a position and some money to either get taken out one way or the other. Okay. And then they're the ones that's left to face retaliatory situations, while Blac Youngsta is able to, hide his immediate family that he truly cares about and himself. It's these young dudes that stuck out in the hoods. Now, we think about what's going on with Jizzle and Little Migos. Hey, it's that situation is very interesting, because I don't think it has a whole lot to do with words. I don't think they're picking on him because they think that he is weak. I don't believe that. I don't think it has anything to do with words. I think it's got a lot to do with something that they feel that Little Migos has participated in, and something that may have hurt them, such as Young Dolph's assassination. Did he have an involvement in it? I don't know. That's the rumor. And it appears to me that evidently they feel like he had some type of involvement with it, or some type of hand in it, one way or the other. Right? And so, we hear about Lil Migos and how his family, how he's got family around him. And that's just another thing. When a person has family around them and friends that truly care about them, you would think that they would try to guide them in the right direction, right? But it you know, in the wake of all of this, it seems, especially with, people consistently talking about they're putting bags on top of folks' heads. Okay. And even though they'll throw up, well, Little Migos is 22 years old, 23, he is. And I hate that because Little Migos is young enough to be my son. So I hate to see him in the midst of this, but surely Little Migos knows that if he's being a follower and taking bad advice, and he's got people around him that's blood related and know that this is happening, and they're not trying to stop it, then they know that he's gonna have to pay one way or the other, right? They understand, surely they understand. And because it seems like to me that some of these folks probably are in agreement with it when they get angry. Yeah, we're gonna put a bag on their head. They're continuing whatever has been happening with that label, as far as destroying lives in Memphis and putting hits out on people as if they are God, right? So I was thinking about Blac Youngsta, and just the rumors of allegedly that he's supposed to send some people to shoot up Big Scar's funeral, and that's just disrespectful on so many levels. We think about what happened to young Dolph, and his name has come up in that. I think what happened to young Dolph was heinous in nature. It tore the city of Memphis up. It not only that, but they destroyed young Dolph's family, his children. A man who was out there providing for his kids in an age where there's a lot of damn men that don't give a damn about their kids, i.e., some of these damn hitmen that they got. Because if they did care about their kids, they wouldn't be somebody's damn hitman putting themselves in a position to die or be in jail for the rest of their lives, right? But Blac Youngsta would be arrested sooner than planned if he's planting seeds, these type of seeds, right? Blac Youngsta knows what it is. He knows what's going on. Blac Youngsta has had several visits from the folks, so he knows what it is. Instead of telling his young dudes and trying to guide them in another direction, it would appear to me, especially because if he putting hits on people, who's gonna go do the hits other than the little dudes around him? These are the little dudes that's still in the hoods that don't even understand why they thinking they gonna get something. The only thing that is gonna lead them to is death or jail for the rest of their lives. Blac Youngsta, who is not living in the hoods, can't even be found no more. Don't give a damn. He ain't the one that's got to be out there while all that retaliation going on. Just like he wasn't out there when all that retaliation was going on as it relates to young Dolph. Okay. So if Blac Youngsta is planning to terrorize the city of Memphis once again, then he will be arrested sooner than planned. And the sad thing about it is a lot of these people know what their destiny is based on their very own actions, and they don't give a damn about what they do and who all that they take down with them, to include the very people around them. They will completely crash out, not trying to save the folks that they claim that they love so much, and rear them in a direction that God it wouldn't rear him in. It's like a cycle that repetitively repeats itself. Instead of saying, no, young nigga, I'm not gonna put that battery in your back to do that. We can't do that. I can't let y'all get caught up in that. He's doing the same thing to them that God did to him. Okay. And so now all of this stuff is going on because Little Migos somehow, a lot of these street guys know a lot more than what the general public would know. I don't feel like they just picking on Little Migos because they think he's weak. I don't believe they think he's weak. I believe that they are angry about something. Okay, there are other CMG artists out there. And for a long time, they never said anything to Little Migos. But as I said, now people are starting to, as Young Dolph's case go on and it consistently builds up, people are starting to learn more and they're starting to get angry. Okay. And as I had said before, when a lot of these other indictments and names and stuff drop, we're going to have another earthquake, and it's going to be on a higher Richter scale than that one that we had the night that God shook the earth when they assassinated him. They prematurely interrupted that boy's life, all because they wanted to play God. And the sick thing about it was Blac Youngsta himself thought that he could be so demonic that he could get on the social media waves and put into the atmosphere, and God had let him do it. Okay. And insinuate that he has something to do with this and laugh and taunt this young man. This is what he put into the atmosphere, the energy he put into the atmosphere for a lot of young dudes who ain't never really had no guidance to pick up on and see, I can go kill somebody and laugh about it. Sadistic on a whole nother damn level. So Blac Youngsta, trust me, Blac Youngsta know what it is. He knows a lot more. Let me just say this. Whatever is gonna happen, he ain't oblivious to it. He's not oblivious to what's getting ready to happen. But the thing about it is, why consistently cause destruction? Okay. Some people, I'm just gonna be a gangster on out. No, what you're doing is you continuously destroying your community. You're destroying the little dudes around you, even though you know how close the feds are watching you. He know. You better believe me when I tell you he know. And so that's why God, when I got up this morning and I sat up in my bed, and I started meditating, I thought about him. God put into my spirit, be not deceived, for God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, he shall also reap. And then the other scripture that came to my spirit was my favorite one. God says, when I get them back for what they did, you're going to see me get them back. When they killed young Dolph ascended to another dimension. He's dwelling in a higher place. Because the creator says, I go to prepare a place for my people. He's dwelling in that place. And then God put in my spirit, touch not my anointed ones and do my prophets no harm. Young Dolph had learned the recipe. And instead of them trying to learn the recipe, they decided to assassinate him because they was jealous of him. And God said, do my prophets no harm. He shook the earth. That was an indication of what was to come. And a lot of these people pissed off and continuously trying to destroy because God is going to get his justice. It ain't got a damn thing to do with us. God uses the FBI and the Memphis police and all these specialized units that's got a hunger to make sure that there is justice for young Dolph. He put that on the inside of them because he said, touch not my anointed ones and do my prophets no harm. God has his people everywhere. So what Blac Youngsta don't understand, while he's angry, there has to be justice, because you can't put yourself in a position of God because you ain't God. So now there are rumors of, they're supposed to be going and shooting up young Scar's funeral because they know these young men are going to be there. Destruction, terroristic acts, destruction on a whole nother level. But Blac Youngsta got to know that if he do this, and people are already putting it into the atmosphere, that it might not be life in prison that he get. He's going to be looking at something else. Okay? But when does it stop? When does the destruction stop? I get to thinking about Little Migos and how they say his family, he got family members that truly care about him and they kind of work around him and things of that nature. Why aren't they trying to rear him in another direction? See, the thing about it is, and I'm not saying this is what's happening with his family, but this is what will happen. When you got a person that is the centerpiece, that is the head of something that's bringing in the money, oftentimes people will be around you and they'll be too, they won't tell you, although they know they're supposed to. They're supposed to pull you to the side if they care about you and do the rundown. No, dog, this ain't right. In my positions with the police department, I always in government agencies worked next to the top person. Why God put me there, I don't know. I kind of feel like I know at this point because I was always real quiet. Never, I was observant, very real quiet, always real quiet. And one thing about people when they are in top positions and they are the breadwinner, they are very vulnerable, even though they try to play hard. And them chiefs will come in there, Miss Thompson, sometimes what you think about this? I'm thinking about doing this. No, chief. No, chief. It ain't right to get rid of a person. How you gonna take a job from a man based on what somebody else has said? I know you want to believe your supervisors all the time, but I don't think that's a good decision, chief. You need to look into that. Huh? Because oftentimes people at the top are not used to anybody disagreeing with them because most people will do anything for some money. Yeah, you right. Can't even hear a damn word they saying. Just ain't heard a damn word. Just being agreeable. Pathetic. But I was never like that. No, chief, you need to read. You need to read. You need to look at that one. No, chief, I don't think you should get that officer a suspension based on that. It may be something that's to it. And sometimes they would come back and say, Miss Thompson, I thank you for that. I had them to further look into that. And you was right. You was right. I'm glad you said that. But a lot of these people ain't got that. They got yes people around them that's going to be agreeable to get exactly what they want. And it's a damn shame. And you would think with the trouble that Blac Youngsta knows that he is in, that he would be trying to protect those young dudes up under him. Instead, he's helping them to crash out. But if Blac Youngsta has planned what they're saying that has planned, he's going to be arrested sooner than planned. Okay? He's going to be arrested sooner than planned. And he knows that. He knows that. And a lot of times people are bitter because they know their number is up. They know it's going to be any day now. And instead of them trying to protect the people around them, they help to destroy and cause discord because in some people's mind, I got myself in this. I don't give a damn no more. You heard people say, I don't give a damn. I mean, I know this is going to happen to me, so I don't give a damn. Instead of trying to protect the little dudes around them, they already ain't got nothing. They already come from hard living. And you have to put them into positions to be retaliated on, their families to be retaliated on, just like it was World War III after young Dolph, or to end up in the grave. And that's why I say these indictments can't come down and be signed fast enough. Because when God finally get a lot of these key people off the streets, I think there can be some reconciliation and healing in Memphis. Because these people have lost their minds. We have to make them rich and they send destruction back to the communities. But God says, when I get them back for what they did, you're going to see me get them back. And I'm going to cut that off right there. But this is going to be interesting. Y'all can't be just putting bags on people's heads. And it seems like it's always $100,000 when you get mad at them. But the good thing about it is that the right people tapped in. God has his people everywhere. He works through the FBI, the specialized forces on MPD, the other federal entities like the DEA and ATF and all of them. He works through all of them. He says, because when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. This destruction has to stop. And I want to say rest in peace to young Dolph. Young Dolph was a young man who had 2 children that loved his kids, and his life was interrupted by people that thought that they were God. Okay. And I'm not surprised all of this stuff that's happening is being shaken up. It's an earthquake going on in the spiritual realm, just like it was an earthquake that went on in the physical realm when they played God and assassinated him. And God wasn't pleased with that. He wasn't. Young Dolph had learned the recipe, and a lot of people was mad at him for that, instead of trying to get on his level, because God has his prophets to come in every form to liberate his people in one way or another. And these devils have to take him out, and they think that they're going to get to live happily ever after. I don't think so. And they know that they're not. And the sad thing about it is a lot of these people think that they were supposed to be able to participate and have a hand in killing him and live happily. God wasn't pleased with that, because he said, when I get them back, you're going to see me get them back. But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Like, share. I don't know what happened with the other video. Maybe God wanted me to come back and say some more stuff, right? But make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support the channel, you can do it via Super Thanks or Cash App. I have another video to do, okay, before I get out. So I'll see you guys in a minute.